Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search in this recession by reviewing your resume. The resume we have up first upsets me on a fundamental level. They said, and this is why you're about to see it, is they said software engineer. The problem is, as somebody who is a tech recruiter, who has trained other people in tech recruitment, and who has gotten a lot of other engineers' jobs, you cannot just state software engineer. The amount of companies that will move you forward specifically by just stating software engineer is very, very low. What you need to do is you need to pick a stack, such as front end, back end, and then if it's back end, you also need to pick C#.net or Python or Java and full stack. The problem is each and every one of those has completely different qualifications that I'll be looking for. As I see in this, I'm going to assume this is maybe a .net resume. That's all I can say. So if I'm looking for somebody that's a .net developer, which again, I'm guessing because I see C, but no, it's C++, not C#. So maybe this isn't even that. I don't know, but I'm going to show you an example. So let's assume this is C#, right? Because again, you can't do this. Y'all, we are in a recession. Job searching is like an all-time difficulty right now. This will probably be one of your hardest job searches for the next 10 to 20 years. Like, it's that bad right now. So, this is what we have. Can I find this in 20 seconds? Let's see. So, .NET, C#, SQL, Cloud, MVS, Microsoft Visual Studios, Git, Agile, RESTful API, CI/CD, front-end, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, cross-functional, DevOps, and .NET. Can I find that? And no, I can't. I immediately already can't find that. Nothing. Python. Okay, maybe this is a Python dev. There's AWS. Yeah, there's nothing here. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. And this is, on the other hand, a Python backend engineer. So if I was looking for a backend Python engineer, this is the stuff that I would be looking for. This goes for all people, not just engineers, to be clear. Your resume needs to be tailored for the job title that you want, and software engineer is too broad of a title. So what I'd be looking for a Python software engineer is Python, SQL, any SQL, doesn't matter which one, Docker, Cloud, and its words. So again, Azure or AWS and EC2, RESTful APIs, Agile, Git, CI/CD, and one of those following: full stack, AI, DevOps, or Kubernetes, ETL, Mongo, and Java, and all that good stuff. So can I find that in 20 seconds? Probably not. So again, nothing here counts. C, no, Python, only thing I'm looking for. Okay, Fast API, okay, Azure, that's 3. And Git, that's 4, and that's it. That's all I find. So your problem is you're too broad. Now maybe you're looking for full stack. Again, this does not have enough what I'd be looking for full stack, because I do not see TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Those are the key things that I'd be looking for in full stack. So this resume fails at almost every level because it shows everything you can do. And I hate to break it to you, but that's just not how people hire. It's very rare. Again, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying it's very rare for somebody to hire a generalist. And I say that on working on some roles that have done it. It's rare. Maybe 1 in 70, maybe 1 in 100. It's not common. And then usually when you break it down, you actually find out they're not looking for a generalist. They're looking for something very specific. So this resume absolutely fails. And what you told me, and I'm not just saying like, oh, this is a bad resume, is you've only got one interview from about 200 plus companies. That's it. That's a terrible ratio. So your ratio is how you can determine if your resume is good. It's how many applications to interviews you get from applying within the first 100 candidates. The fact is, people get confused on what ATS do. ATS sorts your resume on a first come, first served basis. So if you are number 270 applicant, you may not get seen. But even if you were within the first 100, I don't know if this resume could be moved forward with. And that's the problem. So you need to specify, and maybe you have 3 to 4 different resumes. That's okay. Also, you graduate in 7-ish months from about the time this is recorded, 8-ish. That's so far away. People don't hire usually that far in advance. Sometimes entry level does, but most of the time you kind of need to apply within 3 months. Otherwise, they're not going to, move you forward. So that's all I can do for this one, is that it's a terrible ratio because it doesn't specify. It's just so general. Has everything in it, but nothing I need. And again, I cannot use anything in a summary section. It has to be in here. I will say, and I'm not trying to be like mean to this, is you actually wrote your bullet points correctly. Again, none of this should be bolded, but that's besides the point. Is built Python, like implemented APA-driven architecture using WebSockets / BPoost for inter-process communication. That's how I want you to write a sentence. You wrote these correctly. I want to be clear. You wrote these correctly. It's just the problem is what you wrote about was wrong. So if you just said instead of like C++, it was whatever it is, right? Like built a full stack Monte Carlo simulation tool using TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. That's what I'm looking for. So how you wrote these sentences, pretty good. These down here are garbage. I don't care about percentages. I hate whoever decided everything needed a percentage. So that's all I can do for this one. I hope it was at least helpful. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to be helpful. Before we go to the next resume, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you need more help, you can join me on my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And we're going to the next resume. This is a resume of a software engineer intern, preferably backend. So there's a slight difference here. Weirdly enough, once you graduate, you need to pick a stack. But before you graduate, you don't actually need to really pick a stack. I know that's kind of weird, but like interns, it doesn't matter if it's front end or back end or full stack. That's fine. Once you graduate and you're looking for your first real full-time job, that's when you need to pick a stack. But for interns, it doesn't super matter. But what they're looking for in an intern is a degree, a basic knowledge of a tech stack. So again, like language, library, SQL, maybe cloud, the ability to work well with others and takes direction and criticism. And that's it. And this is soft skills. In fact, most of the things that gets an intern an internship is soft skills, right? Like you need the basic gist of what you do, but the rest of it also kind of needs to be like soft skills. So can I find that in 20 seconds? Let's find out. Go. Okay, this doesn't matter. Engineered predictive model Python is fine. Please stop bolding. This makes it so bad. Little bit of AI is fine. So Python that. You keep focusing on R2. What is R2? MATLAB, no. API is good. LLM is okay, and that's it. Okay, so no, you did not show you had enough basic tech stack. So again, I'm talking about like Python, SQL, maybe Docker, maybe Django. I guess maybe Fast API could take that, but I didn't see anything else. So you actually did not put enough tech stuff. And I think you kind of overthought. So like again, there's a lot of bad advice on resumes out there, and probably one of the worst ones is you need to differentiate yourself. This is going to sound weird, but this is a person that goes through 100 of these that has trained trained recruiters and hiring tech people, and have hired faster than others, all right? This is my domain. Resumes are terrible at showing how good you are. That's not their purpose. If you try to brag on it like this, aluminum defects from 0.3 to 0.8, no one cares. R2? What's R2? I don't know. You did not tell me. I've never seen that as a qualification as R2. I'm not looking for automated cleaning and featuring engineering pipeline. I'm not looking for insightful visualizations. I am looking for, and this is probably why you're having an issue, is this stuff. You put more stuff down here than you did up here. And in fact, what did you say? First time applying for a summer internship without any connections. Okay, so previously it was a connection. Pretty new to this. I'm willing to add more projects and learn tech to add. So you need to simplify, right? Your thing is, this is written mostly okay. So first, again, don't put this here. I need it here. Engineered a RESTful API with Fast API is a good thing. That's good. That's what we want to have. I also want you to mention Python somewhere there. Prompts for LLMs, reducing token usage. I don't care about that. I just care that you reduce the token. I don't care about 20 or 30%. Nobody cares about this part. Right? Like, I know you do. There are plenty of things that you do that are actually impressive, but you should not put them on the resume. So all I'm looking for is the basics. So just on a skills level, just like a technical skills level, I would prefer to see Python here as well. I understand Fast API implies Python, but guess what? Doesn't. If your resume implies something else, that resume does not have that something else. One of the biggest rules in resume creation is if you can never imply something. You have to say it explicitly. Again, you cannot put it here. You have to put it here. And you are focusing so much with, again, whatever that is and that part. So stop bolding it. Stop with the percentages. But this is more how I would like you to actually write this. This is garbage, has almost nothing I want. Except Python and skibidi-learn. I know what it says is scikit-learn, but I refuse to pronounce it correctly. So then you get to the part of, I actually do need to see that you have worked well with others, right? Like, that is a big qualification. I need to see, and I think the last resume had a version of that, which, yeah, I think it was the second one in the last video was that. But yeah, you need to tell me I can work well with others and take direction and criticism. That is massive. Look, I get it's silly. I'm not here to argue whether it's justified or right. I'm telling you what it is. And what it is ridiculous, but it's needed. So I need you to put this stuff here. I need you to write this like this, and I need something about how you worked well with other people. I need how you took direction and criticism. Every single intern puts how they led, how they took charge. But that's not the job of an intern. There's a parody video, right? I'm trying to remember his name. It's a short guy's super funny, and this is relevant, I swear to you. It's like a leadership conference, and a disaster happens at a leadership conference, and the first person says, "Hey, follow me. We need to go that way." And then another person says, "Hey, no, follow me. We need to go that way." And then like 8 more people show up and say, "Hey, follow me. You need to go this way, this way, this way." But nobody's actually following. And that's the problem with a lot of intern resumes is we're not looking for leaders. We're looking for followers, because your job is to get corrected. Your job is to take direction and criticism. You're not the best coder in the world because you're learning, and that's okay. But people have always write it like they're some kind of amazing, crazy person when we just need you to write it very basic and say like, hey, I worked on Python. I worked on JavaScript, Python, AWS, Docker, Django, and CI/CDs, and we met weekly to correct my code, where I went over with other people and then gave that information to other students and took their advice as well. Like that sentence alone could probably get you an internship. You still need to apply within the first 100, but because those fill up very fast, but that's the kind of stuff they're actually looking for. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a full stack developer in Australia. So to be clear, I am a US-based recruiter. This is the US list of qualifications. I looked a little bit in Australia, and they were mostly right, but sometimes things don't translate. So this is what I'm looking for. TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, React.js, API, RESTful API, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and .NET, .Python, or Java. And a bonus points for language, Git, and AI. Mostly, I think I'm really looking for stuff in the first 2 bullet points, and the first 3 bullet points. I would say probably not GraphQL in Australia. Probably RESTful API. And not cross-functionality, and then it would be Python instead. So this is probably closer to the actual list of Australia, but you will have to do your own research. And this person, again, doxed themselves, so please stop doxing yourselves. It makes it harder for me to review. I cannot go past this page. The instructions are very clear on my website. Stop doxing yourself. So can I find what I need in 20 seconds? Maybe. Away we go. All right. Don't need that. Python, good. ML, kind of a bonus. Next.js, okay, solid. Nothing. Okay. Would this pass in the US? No. But I don't know Australia's job market. To be clear, I only really know the US job market. Australia might have not a lot of these like full stack devs. So they said applying to graduate roles in Sydney tend to do reasonable well at getting the first round. However, a lot of companies I tend to not to hear back from. So my guess, and this is an educated guess again because it is outside my domain of the US, Yes, it is true. I have all the US. It is mine. Is probably difficult to get a lot of CS people in Australia. And that you have a couple of this stuff that they're looking for, because you had Python, you had Next.js, you had a little bit of AI, is probably enough to get you at least an interview just in case. That's why you may actually have a 1 to 25 ratio. But I'm imagining that you're getting rejected at the rest of them because you're not having what they looking for. Like, if you're a full stack developer and you don't say TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, I could not move you forward. Like, it needs to be like here, right? Like, design and implement an internal Python tool for a TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML environment, right? Your formatting is also awful. I want you to definitely fix your formatting, but you just don't have enough of the stuff. I see out of the corner of my eye all the way down here, AWS, which is good, but that's the problem, is I don't see it up here. And I think it's just you don't have enough of the qualifications they're looking for at the majority of companies. Because I want you to really look at the job listings for full stack devs. Like, they're not asking for enable an engineer to retrieve and apply cybersecurity controls 40% faster. They're not looking for leading an initiative to automate audit-related processes, reducing repetitive engineering tasks by 60%, and aligning system with government frameworks, ISM, TRAP, to meet defense readiness standards. They're saying, like, bro, do you have TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML? Cool. Where did you use them and how did you use them? Do you have Node and SQL? Yeah. Where do you have it? Where did you find it? Where's Python? That's it. You can look at them. They're there for you. You need to look at a bunch of jobs and look at what they're actually needing, because if in 15 jobs that all have the same title and they are good job descriptions and they don't mention something, it's probably not relevant. And this has a bunch of irrelevant stuff. So in the US, it would probably get a way worse ratio. But maybe your university is also super popular there. Again, it's kind of difficult. But I imagine you will get a lot more interviews if you just made it more basic. Seriously, if you take anything from any of my advice, is make it basic, make it easy to read, make it clean and simple. Don't brag, just put what you did in a simple format that shows how you did it, the reason and result you did it, and what you did, and make it easily legible to somebody in the first half of this first page. That's like, if you want to know the summation of all 240 videos I've done, it's that. It's basically that. That's it. So anyway, let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a full stack developer. I don't know where. They almost anonymized their resume. They did everything but their phone number. So they removed everything but their phone number, which was really weird. So I can't show it. I don't know if that was an error or it's a fake number, but it wasn't in the US. So I can't really help you on... I don't know the non-US markets as well, all right? Just to be clear. But in the US, what we're looking for in a full stack dev is kind of the same. Previously, I already said it. I don't have to go over it again. So let me look real quick, see if I can find it in 20 seconds. Also, this person did not state anything. So this is the only information I have, is they submitted this and this is their resume. And go. All right. Nothing here I can use. Let's see. Nothing here I can use. All right. Freelance. A LensCraft e-commercial platform. Okay. I don't know why you, whatever. With React is good. Nothing. API good. Nothing. Next.js. Nothing. CI/CD. Yeah, I could not move you forward. I mean, look, you don't tell me the actual stuff. Like, you can't just say this, okay? There is a reason this does not work. And I despise when people say, oh, you just need a skill section or you just need a summary. No, they cannot be used. They cannot be used in 99% of the cases. Again, unless you are relocating or you are explaining a visa or you're changing industries, you don't need a summary. And a skills section doesn't really matter because a human is looking at it, not an AI. I swear, everybody keeps thinking if they put a skills section, the AI is going to like magically find it, but there's not really that AI. It's not there yet. The technology for resume screening is not there yet. I will tell you all right now. It's humans that are doing it. Humans that are overworked. Humans that may be underpaid. Humans that may be sick. That may have 1,000 other things going on that may not be valued, but a human nonetheless. Especially one that probably doesn't know the industry. So this is completely related. Also, stop bolding everything. Why did you bold LensCraft and Snack Zone? What? Why? I'm not looking for LensCraft. You could say developed an e-commerce platform. I think that's fine. With React is good, but the rest of this I don't. Like, look at this. This entire thing, the only thing I'm actually looking for is React. API, that's 2 things. Next.js and CSS and CI/CD. 5 things, right? If you notice, there are more than 5 things. That's not even 20% of what I'm looking for. I don't see TypeScript. You put it here, but I don't see it there. I don't see HTML. I don't see CSS. Again, I see Tailwind CSS, but I don't see just CSS. And a lot of them are not asking for Tailwind. They're just asking for CSS, which maybe they know can be the same. If not, don't put it. CI/CD is there. And then, yeah, you just don't have anything. You focused entirely, like everybody else, on these weird percentages and real-time trackers, and that's not what we're looking for. A good resume, I'm going to tell you a secret, a good resume reads like a government form. It should be boring, it should be basic, it should only contain the necessary information, and it should be clear and concise. And this is not that. I don't see how you use TypeScript, JavaScript, or HTML. I did see CSS, which is kind of a half point. But yeah, you just don't have it, right? Like, this is completely ignored. This stuff should be in here, but it's not. Because it's not, I can't use it. It doesn't count. This does not have enough stuff I'm looking for. You don't even need all of this. You need only 75%. But it's so upsetting to me to see people with their full stack devs, and their very first sentence does not say, developed an e-commerce platform, or whatever you developed, using TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. Your ratio would immensely improve if that was literally your first sentence in your first job. So that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume, which I think is also full stack. This is a full stack software developer. Again, I'm not going to repeat those. We already know those. So I'm going to try to find this in 20 seconds, and then I'm going to read what they wrote me. Because again, 20 seconds is kind of all we have. So if I can't find it in 20 seconds, that can kind of show it. So since I'm not really doing meet or yeet anymore, and go. All right, again, can't use anything here. There's so much here. Oh, half of this is not related. Okay, all right, senior software developer. Okay, architect design with React, good. JavaScript, good. HTML, CSS, good. Excuse me, I don't care about this. CI/CD is good. Git is good. That's 6. Okay, it's okay. I mean, this is better than the last one. It just there's not enough to move you forward. Maybe if you fix some of the formatting, it would, but. Let me read what you actually wrote, because maybe that'll matter. I am a front-end heavy and looking to get into more cloud. Okay. I have had primarily contract roles and would like something full-time, but I'm open. This is like the 1000th version of my resume closely. I used to get 20 messages and email a day for roles. Interesting. Well, then why would you need to have much more experience? Oh, because the market was better. Okay. Yeah, because you have some solid experience, but the market was like, look, the market crashed at like November 2022. You basically got like out of it right before everything crashed. This is obviously it happened a little bit before, but this is when the effects were really felt. November, I would say Q4 of 22 is when everything went downhill. It has not yet recovered. We were recovering at the beginning of 2024, but then there were a bunch of policies that made it not work. So yeah, November 2022 was when the bad stuff started, and then now we're way worse. So it doesn't actually shock me that you started getting stuff around this time, because that was when things were in full swing. So, I used to get, now I'm looking to get 5 a month. Yeah, that tracks. I haven't gotten an interview in over a year. Wait, what do you mean you get 5 a month but not an interview? What? You used to get 20 messages. Okay, so they ask for your stuff, and then you send it to them, then they decline you? That's a little confusing. Okay. Starting to get desperate. Feel to tear into my resume with your criticism, and thank you in advance. Okay, so first off, this doesn't matter. Second off, there's too much here. What is a W3 school? Is that like a coding program course? I have not actually heard of that. Okay, so, this is a tough one, because this is definitely looked at less. I would say is you should combine these. Actually, so this is, you know what? This is the case where you want your education at the bottom. Normally, education should be at the top. The problem is web developers from bootcamps are looked less favorably. That's just the fact. I wish it wasn't, but that's the case. So you actually want this at the bottom. And don't don't put when you graduated. Don't date yourself. Just put status graduated. So maybe like, boot camp or something, and then you say status graduated. You can put it all the way at the bottom. So yeah, you actually want to delete this, move this to the bottom because it's a boot camp. Then we go down to your actual stuff. And this isn't terrible, truthfully. I don't think it's bad. You don't have enough, but it's not bad. This is not a case where I say you need to redo everything. It's not. Look, architected, great word to use. A design system with React, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Great. I don't care about this part, though. I don't care about the ROI. That's not what I'm looking for. You could... What was the product, right? Was it a SaaS? Was it... I don't know. You didn't tell me. So I would like you to... explain it more, and I don't care about 80%. Then here, I don't care about 80%. Stop putting percentages. Stop it. Directors, put percentages. Salespeople, put percentages. Software engineers should not. Automated our software release process via CI/CD using Git workflows, improving deployment speed and reliability. That's a fine sentence. It's ruined by the 88%, but whatever. Mentored a cross-functional product team in agile workflows. That's good. So owned a TypeScript. Okay, so here's what I want you to do this. I want you to fix this so that your first sentence says, architected a design system in TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and React. That, and then you explain what it does. Then your next one can be mentored a cross-functional project team in agile AI workflow integration, design, and best practices. But I need some SQL here because that's what I'm missing. Do you have Next.js or anything? I don't see it. Would like it. But we do have agile. We do have CI/CD. I also am looking for cloud, unless you're trying to get into cloud, which is a problem. They want a lot of people to already have cloud. And that's actually a tough one to get into, but you have that. So yeah, it's just, you need to restructure these. So again, this needs to say TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and React, right? And then we can make the next one that has Git, and then this can be mentored, and then we can have another sentence, but I need SQL. There it is here. I didn't even get down there. Java, Spring Boot, and okay, that's fine. But again, I also want the full stack here. So you don't want... Here's where you do and you don't want to do this. So do not repeat the same skill in the same job, but do repeat it down in other jobs and projects. So you have React here, right? I think you doubled up. Let me double check. So React here, right? And then you also have React here. That's bad. This, not good. But having React, again, 3 times, wasted space. But here is fine. Right? Here is good. So again, once per job, and that leaves you more room to do other stuff. So, and then I want a little bit more on the front end, but otherwise this isn't the worst. It's just, again, the market is bad. You have to apply early, and you don't have any cloud, which is massively against you, and you're from Bootcamp. And even people with CS degrees and 4 years of experience are having difficulty. So that's what I would recommend to do for this. My dog is barking. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, so move education to the bottom because specifically it's the bootcamp stuff. Delete the summary. This should be your first thing. Make sure TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS from here is up here. Keep React on maybe the second line. Make sure you mention the Agile. Add some SQL. If you can, put in some cloud, but otherwise that's what I think we can do with this, and apply early. The faster you apply to a job, the better. Again, not within 24 hours, doesn't matter. Some jobs take 2 weeks to fill up. Some jobs take 20 minutes to fill up. It matters that you're in the first 100. It's not always correlated to how long it's been up. So next, resume. This is a resume of another full stack. So this person said, I've been applying to, I should probably do the meter yeet first, but that's fine. I've been applying to countless jobs, more than 1,000, and you didn't get a single interview. My assumption was that there was a numbers game, so I kept applying. Yes, but 1,000 is not something seriously off. I saw your videos and applied your advice to my full stack resume. This is the updated one. Please let me know what I can do to improve my odds of getting a callback. Okay. Do people call it callback? I thought that was just acting. Recruiters don't call it callbacks. We call it interviews. It's not a big deal. I was just curious. So, all right. 20 seconds. Let's see why everybody has been ignoring this, or at least the previous version. So full stack. It's last 3 resumes. Y'all know it. All right. Can't use anything here. Built a full stack after using JavaScript, TypeScript, HTML, CSS. Okay, good. Management and deriving 40%. I don't care about that. Node.js, SQL, good. REST APIs. Okay. Integrated Stripe. Okay. So there's no cloud, which is a big issue. Honestly, I don't think this is a terrible resume. The fact that you are getting 1,000 to 1 means there's probably something wrong besides just this. So I'm going to tell you, like, yeah, could the formatting be better? Yes. Do you need to remove this? Yes. Should this be bolded? No. But those are minor issues, right? Like, there are degrees of bad. Like, a bad resume should still be getting you 1 in 250 at least. So first off, so let me try to think of what it is, because I don't think it's just the resume. The resume is like, okay, right? It should be like a 1 in 70-ish. First off, if you need immigration assistance, that's going to be a real destroyer in this market. Again, that's been an absolute nightmare to get anybody with immigration a role because of the new laws. Or executive orders. I don't even know if they count as laws. I'm not a lawyer. The second is, and I would double check this, make sure your email and LinkedIn or and your phone number is correct. Because if this happens honestly close to once a week or once every other 2 weeks, I will call a candidate. It goes straight to voicemail, and the voicemail is full. And then maybe I email them, and then it bounces. So check that. Seriously, that has actually happened to a couple of people on this stream where their email and phone number were wrong. Then the third, and this is probably one of the more important ones, is, are you applying early? People assume that ATSs scan resumes and they do all this crazy stuff, and that if you jam-pack your resume full of keywords, you'll get past the recruiter. And that's not how that works. Like, in fact, you can tell if somebody knows what they're talking about if they tell you how to get past the ATS. If they say get past the ATS, you can probably disregard everything they say, because that's not really how it works. How it works is first come, first serve. That's basically it. 99% of the ATSs on the market, even ones that have the option of having some AI stuff in them, don't actually use those. It's first come, first serve. That's the most of them. So this does mean that if now let me back this up. So your next question is, okay, Lee, you have 12,000 candidates apply to a role. What do you do? Well, the answer to that is, you first off take down the job posting after it gets like 1,000, because that's too much. But the second one is, you look through them in the order they came in. That's it. You find the first, depends on the role, but usually first 3 to 6 candidates that meet the qualifications, and then you move them forward, and then you stop looking. And then if those candidates don't work and the manager needs more, you go through the next block until you get enough candidates to fit in. It's first come, first serve. So if you are number 270 as an applicant, you may not get seen. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes it does take close to 200 applicants to get the right person for the job, especially now because there's a lot of fake candidates, shockingly, and fake stuff on the resume. But still, like, you need to make sure you get in early. So if a role already has 100 people, it's probably not going to move you forward. The exception to that is if it is reposted. If a role is reposted, go for it. That's like a brand new role. So those are the 3 things I think are your actual problems. Because, yeah, again, formatting a little more qualifications, that's fine. You do need cloud, but it's not necessarily a deal breaker. This should still be getting you one. But if you need immigration services and you are applying at applicant number 200, that's going to be a problem. So fix it up a little bit, remove these percentages, again, add a couple of more of these things, and apply early, and hope the company you apply to can do immigration services, because they're all pulling it back. I'm sorry. I wish I had good news. I want to be able to give you advice on what to do on that case, but I don't personally have it. It's a bloodbath. It's a nightmare right now for it. Like, we're in a recession, and the laws are now against that. And it's not like companies are hiring U.S. citizens more. They're not. They're just not hiring as many other people. So That's all I can do for this. Hope it was at least valuable. If you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST. And, thank you all for watching. And until next time, I'm here to get you ahead of your job search.